Welcome, Bearcats, back to Jackson Square. We're going to be looking at multiplying fractions using the algorithm. There are different types of fractions that you can multiply and different problems we have. You can have a fraction time fraction problem. You multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and always remember to simplify your problem. We can also have fractions time a whole number. If you have a fraction time a whole number, make the whole number a fraction by placing it over a 1. Multiply across the numerators, multiply across the denominators, and simplify. And last but not least, we can have a combination of a fraction and a mixed number. You want to convert the mixed number to an improper fraction. Then you multiply across, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and remember, if possible, to simplify. And if it's an improper fraction, then you want to convert it back to a mixed number in the end. So let's go and jump right into our assignment for the night. We are multiplying fractions with the algorithm. I threw in a couple of interesting problems on here tonight, so let's look at number 3 and then let's look at number 4. So on number 3, you see that we are multiplying 3 fractions together. They're all proper fractions, so that should be nice and easy. You can only multiply 2 numbers together at a time to keep it nice and simple. So we're going to start by multiplying 3/4 times 2/8, and again you multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 8 is going to be 32. And we're not going to concern ourselves with simplifying at this step because we still have to go back and multiply by the third number. So now we left out the 2/3. We're going to bring in 2/3 now. And again, we're going to multiply straight across. We have 6 times 2, which is 12, and 32 times 3 is going to give me 96. Remember, if there is a option or a choice, you always want to simplify your fractions. So we want to simplify our fractions. I'm going to go off grid and show you if you are not certain how to simplify a fraction. So our fraction is 12 over 96. I am going to use the factor tree method or prime factorization method to find my GCF. So I'm going to branch off my 12 and my 96. What I need is a pair of factors that I can multiply together to get 12. A pair of factors I can multiply together to get 12 are 3 times 4. I could use 2 and 6. Every prime factorization is uniquely designed for that number. 3 is prime. That means the only numbers in the entire world I can multiply to get 3 is 1 times 3. Nothing else will give me 3, so it is prime. 4, I can multiply 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. So it has 3 factors. That makes it composite. So that means I can break it down again. This is called prime factorization. So we want to make sure that all the numbers at the end are prime numbers. 4 is 2 times 2. And again, the only numbers in the world I can multiply together to get 2 is 1 times 2, so those are prime. So I'm done with my tree for 12. 96. For 96, I can divide it by a couple of numbers, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with 4. I know that 4 times 24 will give me 96. 4 again has 3 factors, 1, 2, and 4. So it's composite. I can break it down. 2 times 2 will give me 4. So I circle those. Those are prime. Then 24. What numbers can I multiply to get 24? I'm going to go sideways with my tree because I'm running out of room. I can multiply 2 and 12. Again, 2 is prime, so I circle it. For 12, I'm going to go with the traditional 4 and 3 that pops in my head. Circle my 3. Break down my 4, 2, and 2, and they're all prime, so I circle them. So once I have my factor trees, no matter how wide they are, I'm going to write out my prime factorization. The prime factorization for 12, I put my numbers, only the prime numbers in the circles in order from smallest to largest. It's going to be 2 times 2 times 3. That's all I have. My prime factorization for 96 is much greater. Let's see how many 2's I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 2's. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. I have 1 3. So what we're doing when we're looking at our prime factorization to get our GCF, we're looking for things that they have in common. I call them couples. They have a couple of these numbers and a couple of those and a couple of these. So looking at them, the numbers have to be in both rows. For the 12 and 96, I see there's a couple of 2. There's a second couple of 2. And I even see that there is a couple of 3 here. So every couple will get an invitation, because in my mind I'm planning a party, a couple's party. They're going to get an invitation. So this couple will get an invitation, and this couple will get an invitation, and this couple will get an invitation. I'm going to multiply all of these together. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4, and then 4 times 3 is going to give me 12. 12 will be my GCF. My greatest common factor for 12 and 96 is 12. So once I have this information, I can go back to my fraction with my GCF and simplify my fraction. There are how many groups of 12 and 12? 1. And how many groups of 12 and 96? There are 8. So the answer is going to be 1/8. Now let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 has a combination of a mixed number times a proper fraction. So a mixed number times a proper fraction, we're going to use something called, again, we've called it or heard it called the Texas method. One of my students even told me that they heard it called in elementary school MAC. Whatever you've heard it called, that's what we're going to do. You're going to multiply the denominator times the whole number. We'll get 30. That's my product. I bring my products down. And all we have left at this point is the numerator. We're going to add 3. And we will get 33, which becomes our numerator for our new fraction. And our denominator is going to stay the same. So it's still going to be 5. So this is my new improper fraction. So 33/5 is going to take the place of 6 3/5 here in my problem. And then I bring everything else down. Again, when we multiply fractions, we multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 33 times 5, I will get 165. And 12 times 5 is 60. Then we look at this and we realize this is an improper fraction. So if it's improper, we want to make it a mixed number. How do you make it a mixed number? We make it a mixed number by doing tie-bow. You're going to put the top number in and the bottom number out of the house. So just thinking about what I know about 60, I know that 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times 3 is 18. So that is probably going to be too big. So I'm going to try 60 times 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. And then I subtract. I will 5, and I will have 45. 45 is less than my 60, so I know that my quotient is right. So I'm going to have a remainder of 45. And how do we make this a mixed number? We make it a mixed number by using our quotient remainder, and our original denominator. So I'm going to have 2 and 45 over 60. And just looking at these numbers, I know that they are friendly numbers and they're all multiples of 15. So my GCF would be 15. I'm going to divide my numerator and denominator by 15 to get 2 and 3/4. Final answer. I hope that this has been helpful to you. And remember, good luck, Bearcats.